0.6 at 6, so it's a little ways. You never can tell, to be honest with you. But I think we're good to be honest.
Yeah, I got his name.
Yep.
Okay, you got it?
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. If I can have everybody take their seats, we'll get started here. All right. Call the meeting to order. Alyssa, can you take roll, please?
Mr. Allen,
Present.
Mr. Norwood,
Here.
Mr. Azell,
Here.
Mr. Waddell,
Here.
Mr. Stallings,
You have to leave.
Mr. Mason will be absent, and Mayor Pinkerton.
Here. Okay, item number 2, invocation and flag salute. Tonight, the invocation is going to be given by Pastor Ryan Nelson from Emmanuel. Following him will be one of our citizens and also one of the military members from Vance Air Force Base. Major Kinsley Jordan will lead us in the pledge.
Let us bow our heads. Father, thank you so much for your holiness, your mercy, your grace, and your goodness. Father, I ask that your glory, the glory of your kingdom, expand to this room throughout Enid, Oklahoma, United States, and just cover the whole world. Ask the Holy Spirit to move in the hearts of the men here today, to show them your love. Give them godly wisdom and righteousness so they make wise decisions and have righteous discernment. Thank you for pointing our hearts to Jesus Christ. And if people here do not know you or deny you as the one true God, I ask that you illuminate their hearts, illuminate the law on their hearts so they know the truth, so they seek the truth. Because once they know the truth will set them free. And Father, no matter the decisions that are made here today, I know that your sovereign hand is in complete control. And I thank you for that, because I know that you can take all evil and use it for your good. I ask all of this for the glory of Jesus Christ. Remind us all that we are made in your image for the glory of God. Amen.
Amen.
Please turn to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you, Pastor Nelson. Thank you, Major Jordan. Item number 3, minutes. Item number 3.1, consider approval of minutes of the special commission meeting of September 15th, 2020.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion or corrections? Hearing none, please call for the vote.
Mr. Allen,
Aye.
Mr. Norwood,
Aye.
Mr. Azell,
Aye.
Mr. Waddell,
Aye.
Mayor Pinkerton.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, thank you. Item number 4, awards presentations, proclamations, and organizational business. Item 4.1, recognize the utility maintenance foreman, Michael Humphries, in the Public Utilities Division for spearheading the construction of a new building for utilities maintenance at the Service Center. Gerald?
Yeah, this is a fantastic project, another example of great work by city employees. And so tonight we have an opportunity to show you the slideshow of a building that was built behind the service center to help house equipment and vehicles for the utility maintenance department. And normally on a project like this, we would have bid that project out and had contractors do it. But probably, I don't know, probably a little over a year ago, the former Public Utilities Director, Lou Mintz, had told me that he had the people and he thought he could do this for less than $50,000. So it became a little bit of a kind of a competition, because I was very inviting of that, because we certainly need to get bang for the buck. And although I was skeptical, and as time goes on, and I guess you can go ahead and start the slideshow. Does it automatically rotate, or? Oh, okay. And anyway, it turns out that Michael Humphries is the foreman in utility maintenance, and he's the guy that ramrodded this whole project. And when I first went out and looked at it, when they were showing it off after it was pretty much completed, one of the first things I noticed was the quality in the concrete work. And I remember even asking the question, well, who did the foundation here? And there was a humble answer of, we did. I said, really? And you can see pictures of them here as they're putting out forms. You can see them actually pouring that foundation now. And there were lots of people involved. We would have brought them all in today, but for the pandemic situation, we're trying to limit sizes. So Chris Stein, who's been out there pretty much for the duration of this project as well, put together the slideshow to help give you an idea of all the effort involved. City employees did virtually everything here. They did the concrete work. They put the girders together. They put the metal on the building. They put the insulation in it. We put the heater in it. I think we did everything. And so with that, as you look at those slides, I want to call Chris and David Hunter and Michael Humphries, and I believe he's brought his wife, who's also a city employee, Brandy, and his family. I'd like to bring them up here and just recognize them. He did a fantastic job as the foreman, and it's not just him. You can see other people, and we're certainly going to recognize those other folks, but he's the guy that ramrodded it. So would everybody come on up here? Chris and David and Michael and Brandy. Yeah, go ahead.
And I was just going to say, if I could, we talked about that water main break and the response, and what you see here is pretty much an example of what happened during that main break. We had staff who essentially were on the ball, taking care of stuff, high quality communication, and this is just another example of what they did. And Michael was actually key in the discussions with that main break. So I just want to point that out as well.
Good. Well, good.
So Michael handled this project from conception to purchase to execution of construction. He was the brains behind it. He sought the bids for the building materials. He got the quotes for the concrete. He ramrodded the whole thing all the way through. If you know anything about utility maintenance, we fix round stuff that's in the ground. We don't do square stuff above the ground. He brought tears to my eyes. We had a couple of guys on the crew that have previous experience building metal buildings. We've got a fabulous concrete crew that poured a 40 by 60 slab that is flawless. They erected this building by themselves. The one step that wasn't done by city employees was the installation of the overhead doors, because that came with the sale price of the doors. To give you a little idea of the dimensions of this, it's 40 feet by 60 feet, and the doors are 16 feet high opening, so we can get our big sewer trucks in there in the winter to keep them from freezing. We had tremendous support from Public Works with additional manpower for the concrete, putting in the heating system, and running electric to the building. Absolutely 100% homegrown. So with that, I'd like to present Michael with a sign that I'm going to have him post on that building next to the door to finish this building, recognizing him and the crews that helped build this. Take your sign.
I got one more thing for you, Michael.
What, are you making him install the sign himself? I mean, you can do that for him, sure.
Well, certainly. Michael's seen several employees, including some of his, get this city coin from the city manager for outstanding performance. So clearly you get one today. And I will tell you, you were right. You really did build this building for less than $50,000.
All right.
Now what comes with that is, now that I know we can build these kind of buildings for $50,000, we have a lot of needs. So thank you very much.
We should have sent him to the golf course.
Yeah.
You're right.
Gerald, do you have any idea what that size building would cost had we bid it out? Ballpark?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a great idea, but it'd be a lot more than $50,000. It would be significantly over $100,000 and potentially higher than that. So again, this isn't just a plain old building. It's got heat in it. It's got electricity. It's a
Can we get
wonderful
these
job.
guys to build bathrooms somewhere?
You know, they're very talented. The only downside is it takes them away from water leaks, but yes, they could do it. You sure you don't want to say anything? You never have any trouble talking in our meetings.
Well, since he doesn't want to say anything, Michael, I'm proud of you. And when I used to do contracts for the city of Enid street repairs, I just like to openly say that you treated me with a lot of respect and dignity, and you went beyond the norm to help me and my crew. I just want you to know I appreciate it and thank you very much. And I'm proud of you, man. Thank you.
I have one more thing to say. Gerald didn't really have the final answer on what it would have costed, but he said north of 100,000. So we did it for 50,000. It was 100,000. So I've always wondered what the value of the mayor's coin is. And now I know that it's $50,000. Gerald, I'd like to give you one of my coins from the mayor as well. All right, thanks a lot. The whole crew, really, really good work.
While we're in this section, I have neglected, we have two new city employees here that we want to introduce to you tonight. One of them is Michael, come on up here. Michael Koviak. I think I got that close to right. He can tell you. Michael's going to tell you a little bit about his background. We're fortunate to have him. He is the new assistant city attorney, working with Carol and us, the city. And so, Michael, why don't you tell him a little bit about yourself?
Thank you, gentlemen. I'm very happy to be here. I appreciate the opportunity. I'm excited about what I can help you guys with here in the city of Enid. I grew up originally in Baltimore, moved out to Oklahoma in 1983. I've been here since. Went to Oklahoma State University after I did a stint in, that's why I got the orange on. Got my degree in political science and sociology corrections. I did a stint in the United States Army and the Oklahoma National Guard for 13 years. Got my law degree from the University of Oklahoma, equal opportunity, right? And I've been practicing as an attorney for 25 years. My main experience has been in various different things. I ran my own firm in Midwest City. I hope to use my experience to help you gentlemen make the city a better place.
Okay, thank you very much.
Please feel free to contact me if you need anything at all.
All right, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And we also have a new marshal of the court, Justin Lamley. Justin, I think you're in the back of the room. Come on up. Justin's actually not necessarily a new employee. He's been around. I believe he retired from the police department, been at the sheriff's department. He's come back to us as our marshal of the court. So you'll see a lot of him in the future.
All right.
All the thing I say is it's good to be back. It's like I took an extended vacation for about 5 years and now I'm back home.
Welcome back. Have you been sitting in the back the whole time? We're neighbors and I didn't even recognize. Well, all masked up. Yeah. Well, welcome.
He keeps my kids busy working them.
You raise fine young men. I have to say that, Justin.
Appreciate that.
Well, thanks for continuing to serve our city. I appreciate it. All right. Item number 5 is administration. Item number 5.1, approve non-binding letter of intent to purchase the downtown Great Plains Bank building at 401 West Broadway Avenue and authorize the city manager and city attorney to complete a purchase and lease agreement for future consideration by the mayor and board of commissioners.
This is the downtown bank building that's at 401 West Broadway. We spoke about it before, I believe on September 1st in study session. At that time, we brought a maintenance report or basically an inspection report that Don Rose had put together. There are some maintenance issues that will need attention on this building if we are to proceed. The roof was one of the primary things, and ADA renovation of the bathrooms was the other thing. There were some other things you'll remember that Don Rose had on the report and is attached to the agenda. But one of the key things that came up at that meeting was wanting to know what the extent of the asbestos is in the building. Don Rose's report did indicate there's asbestos, but we went and got a company called Tech-An that are experts in finding asbestos, and they found a lot of it. You see there's an estimate in there, and they have some maps. There's asbestos everywhere because it's in the ceiling mastic or ceiling sheetrock popcorn stuff, which is on all 3 floors. It's also in pipe insulation commonly that's in the boiler room area and some other places they've noted on the map. There's some floor tile and there's a few other miscellaneous things that you saw on that. If we were to, and the report also says that none of it at this point needs to be remediated because none of it's an open issue. However, at some point, we will likely, if we take this building on, have to remediate that. If we were to do it all at once today, their estimate's $330,000. And so that is something to keep in mind. And I know one of the primary purposes that we are looking at the building, it has great potential for a lot of things, but a youth program is one of them. And so we put a draft type lease in there. And really, so we're at the point, Carol has drafted up a lease agreement. The bank would actually still stay there. And I believe Doug Parker may be somewhere here in the audience and can speak to questions about it if you'd like him to. But what this item really does is let us proceed and complete the purchase agreement, get it over to them. They'll need to look at it, make sure we come to terms on that. But the terms roughly are a net price of $250,000. Doug can talk to you about, they're going to want to, that's a net price. They're going to want to have the building appraised, but they've generously offered to use that as a write-off down to that net price. You know, we would have some maintenance expenditures of several $100,000 expenditures and potentially $330,000 plus in asbestos. So probably over a few years, we will have invested close to probably $1 million in that building. But that building's probably, when that appraisal come in, is probably worth more than $1 million right now. So I think from that aspect, it's a good investment. I think there's lots of uses for that building. Youth programs is one of them. I know Justin Simmons is in the audience and Commissioner Waddell may want to speak to that. We're really just here to answer questions. We did have one mistake on the letter of intent with the address, just so you know, it's 401 West Broadway, not 401 West Oklahoma. But I think we're here to answer questions. Doug Parker's here from the bank president. Justin Simmons is here if you want to hear more about that.
So the asbestos, there's no friable asbestos at this time, and we would only have to remediate if when we touch a remodel that, or we get to the point of remodeling a space that actually impacts the asbestos. Is that the process generally?
Yes, that is my understanding, and that's what I believe the report says.
And our lease back with the bank for the term that they continue to use it doesn't require that we make any significant improvements or Or, I mean, we wouldn't have to do any remodeling as the owners while they're leasing it back, which would trigger any kind of remediation.
Yes, we have specified that, and Carol could probably better answer some of those questions. But yes, it's a simple LOI. It's about 2 pages long, but it does have a clause in there about they're responsible for maintenance, upkeep during that time period.
And roughly what time period are we looking at with the lease back?
Well, I defer to Mr. Parker.
Ballpark, I mean, I think it's a good deal either
Ballpark.
way, but.
Well, he'll tell you in just a minute.
By the way, thank you for giving us this opportunity. This really is a cool building. It's a remarkably cool building in any place, but in that location, and we really do appreciate the opportunity.
You're very welcome. We're glad to do it. I believe the way Carol has the draft leased, it's a maximum of 2 years that can be eliminated with 30 days notice from us. So our goal long-term or a maximum term would be 18 months.
Because you're building a new building out west and
somewhere.
Yes. Somewhere.
We still
Who knows
have
when.
to determine it.
Great.
Good.
Thank you, Doug.
Thanks, Mr. Parker. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I would like to say from my perspective, we've been looking at an opportunity in order to be able to invest in the community, particularly towards youth programs. And we've got a great program that is got a lot of resources and upside. And the only thing that they're lacking right now is a place in order to be able to hold their programming due to circumstances that was outside of their control. And so this building presented to us, we're getting at a heavy discount. There's some repairs that need to be done, but the organization that we're trying to do a partnership with, they're coming with the table with dollars in order to be able to help mitigate the cost. And so this is a win-win opportunity for us with this particular opportunity. So I for one, am in full support and would hope that we would move forward with this.
Yep. Mr. Parker?
I would add, because of an earlier comment, the appraisal that we have in file is 3 years old. It was almost 2.6 million.
Okay.
So I would anticipate 2.7 somewhere along.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
I did want to make sure, Commissioner Allen, we addressed your question on the boiler. If we want more details, I think Ken Bradley has spoken with Dents Mechanical, and we'd love to tell you all about that if you'd like to know the status and condition of the HVAC and potential cost there.
I'm real good with that answer. You know, I have just a couple of things to say about this building because I think it's a great opportunity for us. There were a couple of things that have happened. All the realtors in town came to us and said, "You're getting a good deal there. You should do it." And you don't hear realtors say that kind of thing because they usually want to get in on the commission. And we've foregone that. The other thing is I speak on regular occasion to several of Enid's better known curmudgeons, and they've all attacked me for why we're getting, buying buildings again. And once I explained where the money's coming from and what we're looking at doing, every one of them has said, "That's a good idea. That's all right." And so we're getting the blessing across the board. And that makes me feel confident we're doing the right thing.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion that we approve the LOI to purchase the building. I would like to make sure that we modify to make sure that the agreement that we make, the LOI that we do make with making a difference with the terms that were discussed, that we do extend that beyond a year to 10 years. With the money that they're putting forth and making sure that they have the stability to go forward. I think it's important that we give them some degree of predictability going forward. So I would like to make a motion to approve that with the one modification to extend the agreement to 10 years.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote.
Aye.
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 Aye. Okay, thank you all. And again, thank you, Mr. Parker. We do appreciate that. Good citizen and really giving back. So thank you. Item number 6, consent agenda items.
Move to approve.
Okay, motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, please call for the vote.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Item number 7, recess to convene as the Enid Municipal Authority. Item number 8, all trustees of the Enid Municipal Authority special meeting are in attendance except Commissioner Stallings and Commissioner Mason. Item number 9, the Enid Municipal Authority special meeting is now in session. Item 9.1, authorize repair of the Vermeer wood chipper at the landfill to Sole Source Vermeer Great Plains, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, in an amount not to exceed $65,000.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote.
Mr. Allen?
Aye.
Mr. Norwood?
Aye.
Mr. Azell?
Aye.
Mr. Waddell?
Aye.
Mayor Pinkerton?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay. Item number 9.2, approval of claims in the amount of $265,077.29.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Call for the vote.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item number 10, adjourn to convene as the Enid Economic Development Authority. Item number 11, all trustees of the Enid Economic Development Authority special meeting are in attendance except Commissioner Stalling and Commissioner Mason. Item number 12, Enid Economic Development Authority special meeting is now in session. Item number 12.1, approval of claims in the amount of $150,750.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Call for the vote.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item number 13, adjourn to convene as the Enid Public Transportation Authority. Item number 14, all trustees of the Enid Public Transportation Authority special meeting are in attendance except Commissioner Stalling and Commissioner Mason. Item number 15, Enid Transportation Authority special meeting is now in session. Item number 15.1, consider a resolution authorizing the chairman of the Enid Public Transportation Authority to execute an agreement between the Oklahoma Department of Transportation and the Enid Public Transportation Authority for public transit revolving funds.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Item 15.2, approval of claims in the amount of $954.02.
Motion to approve.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item number 16, adjourn to reconvene as the Enid City Commission. Item number 17, public comment. We have 2 people that have signed up. First person, Ryan Reed.
Thank you. So I've been here for about 8 years, since 2012. And in that year we were in the end of a drought, multi-year drought. And I think we experienced record high temperatures and record low rainfall that year. So we had water restrictions. And so in that year, everybody was really concerned about our water situation. And I understand that shortly after that, voters approved a sales tax increase to pay for the engineering for the Call Lake project and to pay for some of those initial costs. But I believe that things have changed since then. In the August 4th meeting that I watched on the website, it looks like the peak demand happened in about 2011, and my understanding is that it was something like 21 million gallons per day average, or something that the city produced in that time. And I just talked with our assistant city manager, and apparently we're able to produce about 16 million gallons a day of water. We're currently using 10 to 12. And so I've been talking with people in town about this. 9 out of 10 people that I've talked to don't want the Call Lake project. Looking at the water demand in that chart that was shown, it looks like we dropped from those peak levels. People were watering their yards a lot, dropped quite a bit. And then I think in 2016, the Koch fertilizer plant put in a water saving project that dropped another 2 million gallons a day off of the demand. And so we hit a low in 2017 of somewhere in the 10 million gallons, 9, 10 million gallons per day range. And so as I understand it, we have about 4, 5, 6 million gallons per day of capacity right now that we can, more than we're actually using. This project, I understand, is about a $350 million project, which if you spread that out across the people in Enid and stretched it out over the 50 years, that might be a $1,500 per year per household, or $2,000 per year per household, somewhere in that range of additional costs that will have to be covered. So, that's roughly, I don't know, maybe roughly doubling the cost of the water in the city of Enid. And I know this was put across as something that will facilitate economic development. Maybe we didn't have the water to promise to some different industrial facilities that wanted to come in. But I believe with the information that we have now, from what I've seen, we have the water. We have 4 million gallons, 4 to 5 to maybe even 6 million gallons per day that we could accommodate additional industry, expansion of the base, residential development, swimming pool, so forth. I'm an engineer. I've been a project manager for most of my career, and one of the things that we try to do is make sure that we don't go forward with a project that we don't need. So learn when to cancel a project, or when to put it on hold or put it on the shelf. We've bought right-of-ways, we've paid for engineering, all those things, the value, the value's there in those things. I believe that we could put this project on hold and maintain those right-of-ways. If the time comes that we actually need it, that we see our demand going up to where it's possibly exceeding our supply, then we could pull those plans off the shelf. We still got the right-of-ways and go forward with it. But I don't believe now's the time. I would encourage the city council to push pause, get some more information on this. In the August 4th meeting, we didn't have current information on what the aquifers were doing, the level of the aquifers, and the demand information that was put in that chart wasn't even current. It was 2 years old. So I think that we need to understand better what's going on with the water situation, the demand situation, the water demand, before we start writing really big purchase orders for pipe and contractors and so forth. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The other person that requested to speak is Kevin Kopenhauer. I mispronounce it every time, I'm sorry.
Good evening, commissioners. I just have a thought. Our president got COVID. Kamala Harris's staff got COVID. In both situations, I didn't like either one getting COVID. And I think if whether you're gay, you're straight, you're bisexual, whatever you are, white, black, we wouldn't wish COVID on anybody. And it kind of disturbs me when I read something that says poetic justice. From the freedom fighters, we don't wish COVID on anybody. And I'd hope it'd be the same way. And it kind of disappointed me when I read this. We need to work together as citizens and love each other and care for each other and pray for each other. And Derwin and I were talking about that a while ago. We need to pray for the end of this COVID. But I would hope that nobody would feel like somebody deserves the COVID. And I hope we are mature enough as fellow human beings and as fellow Christians.
Hey, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're adjourned.